Okay, we're here with Virginia Farver, about to go into City of Fort Collins, light power, and ask them some questions.
Here we go.
Here we go. Let's go.
Hi.
Hi there. We'd like to speak with Dennis Sumner, please.
Do you have an appointment with him?
We don't.
Okay, we can see if he's available. Do you mind just hanging out for just a
Sure,
moment?
sure, thanks. Hi, Dennis Sumner?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Josh Hart. I'm director of StopSmartMeters.org.
Hi, Josh.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
I think you know Virginia.
Hi, Virginia. Nice to see you.
Yeah, I just have a couple questions
I'm just
for
running to
you.
a meeting. I'll be glad to come right back if you can give me a minute.
We just have one really quick question.
I'm sorry. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'll be glad to come back. Sorry. We had a interview call and then the person wasn't there. Did you want to come in and talk or?
Yeah, sure, if you have a couple minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, I just have a couple questions for you.
Please just sign on in if you would. If somebody throws this out, we'll have to go to another room, but let's assume we can have this one.
I don't work the light switch.
Well, thank you for taking the
You
time. So basically, I was just wondering, I'm writing an article for our website
Okay.
on Virginia's case. As you might know, her son, Rich, died from a brain tumor. Radiofrequency radiation is considered a possible cancer-causing agent. And my understanding is that your crews the other day came to her house and, against her will, forced a smart meter on her property when there is an opt-out policy with the city of Fort Collins. And she doesn't want this on her house. It's very upsetting. People have a choice whether they want one or not. And given that there is an opt-out law in the city of Fort Collins, that people can pay $11 to have an analog meter, I'm just wondering, what's your position regarding sending armed police officers to force these meters on people's homes, including the Farvers?
For starters, it's not a smart meter on our home.
Okay, but it does emit radio frequency
It's
radiation.
not a broadcasting meter. I can go get one if you'd like.
Mhm.
What we offer customers, most customers are using the AMI type meter that does a radio frequency broadcast.
Mhm.
And that's what we refer to as option one. We have what we call an option two. Some customers are concerned with the privacy elements. The electric meter collects data every 15 minutes.
Mhm.
And we also have a water module for customers that we serve water to. I don't think we serve water at your home.
No.
But a lot of people in town, we serve water and electric, some just water, some just electric. And the water module normally collects data every hour.
Mhm.
That's option one, and that's a broadcast device. And we have an option two that's intended to offer an alternative for customers who are concerned with privacy, where they feel at that level of data, they would prefer that not be taken. And we can reprogram the water module so it collects data twice a day, and the electric module so it collects data once a day. It's still radio broadcast.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the city ordinance that allows for an opt-out specifically identifies an electromechanical analog meter as the opt-out meter. Is that not correct?
That's not correct. So we have the third option, and the third option is a meter that does not do any radio broadcasts whatsoever. And we have the same option for water and electric. It is a digital meter. So it has a digital display like a digital clock.
Which means it has a switch mode power supply to convert the AC coming in on the line to the DC to run the electronics,
As
correct?
with any kind of device that has a DC operation in a
Right.
television set, a
Right.
timer on a microwave.
So I guess,
any appliance
yeah.
model. So I'm going to answer your question. So that meter is what we call option three, and it's a non-communicating meter. So for customers who do not want the radio broadcast meter, we offer the option three. And that was what is installed in the Farvers home.
Which is the $11.
So let me just try to understand something.
Sure.
They told you that they don't want, whatever this meter is, whatever you call it, smart or whatnot, they didn't want it on their home. They weren't comfortable with it for whatever reason.
Sure.
dirty electricity from the switch mode power supply, they want an analog meter. So what right does City of Fort Collins have to come in and say,
The service-
we're going to force
the
this on your house?
service options we offer are the three that I described.
Mhm.
Those are the options we offer. On the 6th, when we were at Farber's home, what I explained to Mrs. Farber at the time was that we understood she did not want a radio broadcast meter, and the option 3 is what we were prepared to install if that's what she wanted.
So you're charging them
Yeah.
$11 extra a month based
It's a
on this
manual
non.
read.
Not just her, anyone.
Anybody who requires.
But let me
manual
ask
read.
you this, my neighbor just the other day, I pulled up and they were replacing her digital analog with another meter. So I was
Did you
just
know
curious
he
as
was
to what.
recording it?
No.
You have to let people know that you're recording it before you start, that's usually what they see. I didn't realize you were recording.
Okay, I'm recording. I thought
Okay.
holding a camera up would be pretty
No,
obvious.
I
Okay.
didn't.
Like a
No.
microphone.
And that's
Okay.
an interesting comment, by the way. Okay, go ahead.
But that's fine. So, I'm sorry, was there a question about your neighbor?
Well, they came by the other day and replaced her digital analog that you just put on her house a couple of months ago with another different meter. So, and she's just at a loss as what's going on. So, not real sure what's going on here.
Uh,
She can call us. I mean,
The work that was done at your neighbor's house was in response to a request from your neighbor. If she would like something else, she may feel free to call.
Okay.
Well, let me understand, because I'm really concerned about what's going on in Fort Collins. According to an article in the Coloradan, people are being put on a list, confidential watch list, problem utility customers, and they intend to be restricted from access to city facilities based on refusal of a smart meter.
I'm not aware of
Okay,
it at all.
all right.
I haven't seen that article, and I'm not aware of that.
Okay.
That was the closed door meeting or open door meeting article in the Colorado, and I believe it was the end of November, the 24th.
Yeah, yeah, we can send you a copy of this if you
Mhm.
want.
Please do. I'm
But
not familiar with
So,
that
so
article.
basically what I'm understanding is people's options are either they get their analog swapped out or they get cut off. Is that?
We are removing the analog meters from our inventory.
Mhm.
We believe that they're obsolete equipment,
Mhm.
and we're removing them.
Let me ask you, what level of public consultation did you engage in prior to this decision to replace all the meters?
The project was reviewed with our governing board, which is the city council.
Mm-hmm.
In our case, the city council is the checks and balance, if you will, our
Mhm.
governing board. They serve the role.
Did you hold public meetings? Did you present to the public what you were going to do? Did you get
The-
feedback on that?
The project was presented to the city council at a public meeting.
And what were the feedback from the public?
The staff gave a presentation to the city
Mhm.
council, and
Mhm.
the city council authorized to
Mhm.
proceed.
Okay. So,
You could search it on the web. I mean, I
so,
think
so the Farver's decision is either to have this digital meter or to get their power cut off. Is that correct?
That's their choice.
Right. So, and you believe it's an appropriate policy to deprive someone of electricity if they're not willing to accept something that they're not comfortable with on their home?
No, that's their choice.
So,
It's all
our way or the
consumers.
highway, basically.
Well, if you look at the infrastructure is maintained and owned by the
Mhm.
utilities, and the purpose of that is the public obligation we have
Mhm.
to provide people those services.
Mhm.
As we look at evolving those services to better meet the needs of the community,
Mhm.
we change the infrastructure out, like the meter used in 1920 would be different than the meter
Mhm.
used today, and that's how the
Mhm.
industry has evolved. So we do exchange the meter that we have to own and operate
Mhm.
for the system integrity and the delivery of that service, but if a customer truly doesn't want that and we lay out the choices, then yeah, that is their choice at the end of the day. It's truly.
But it's not their choice if they have a meter that's broadcasting next door, that radio frequency to come into their home. I mean, and you do agree this is a possible human cancer-causing agent, according to the World Health Organization.
Well, I have no expertise in that, so I
Uh-huh.
can't quote the World Health
Right.
Organization. I'd have to rely on those experts there who claim.
But is it
When-
smart to
when
be
we-
putting this
when
out
we-
here?
When we rolled out the project, we were aware of people's concerns with radio frequency. And what we chose to do, I mean, if you search on the web, you have one whole line of thinking that in your site you represent. There are others as well. So people can look on the web and see a lot of different information.
Well, the World Health Organization says that your meters may cause cancer.
The World Health
Period.
Organization classifies it as a carcinogenic 2, I think is what it does.
2B,
With
possible
coffee,
carcinogen.
Dark chocolate. A number of other things. So you're.
But those people have a choice.
But do you-
What we did to help us, I'm not a health guy, you know, I'm an engineer. And so, as Lisa was saying, we have to recognize our personal limitations. What we chose to do was, we went to the North Larimer County Health District, and that is a public agency that exists in our community to provide guidance on health issues. We asked Dr. Bruce Cooper from the Health District to review the literature that was available. He did not do independent research. We asked him to review the literature that was available so that he would advise us and City Council what
Do you have children, Mr. Sumner?
I do.
If your son, do you have a son or daughter?
I
Well, I
have.
don't think that's relevant.
Well, if your child was died from a brain tumor, and then the city of Fort, everyone's looking at other utilities. They're looking at you and go, well, they're not doing anything, and if we shouldn't do anything, you know, if they don't do anything, why should we? So there's kind of a collective blindness in the utility industry now, where, you know, in California, you had literally thousands of people coming forward speaking to the California Public Utilities Commission saying, these meters went in, these AMI meters went in, I'm getting insomnia, I'm getting ringing in the ears, I got dizziness, headaches. We have, you know, peer-reviewed science that shows that microwave wireless technology is harmful in various ways when you exclude evidence funded by industry. And the World Health Organization, which is the most respected international health body, saying that this substance may cause cancer. Now, many of the people on the committee said it should have been a probable carcinogen. So, you know, if there is a risk, and if people don't want it on their house, and people are coming forward saying these smart meters were installed, I'm getting ill, we've got a major problem here. And particularly if someone like, you know, Virginia and the Farvers, who have lost a son to cell tower radiation. He was right by this major cell tower at Nassatir Hall at San Diego State University. You can imagine the anguish and the feeling of being betrayed, that having a government or utility come and force something on your home. Your home is like, you know, it's not like a utility project on a utility right of way. This is your home. And if something is going on in your home that you don't feel comfortable with, like that is people feel attacked. They feel like their privacy is being invaded. They feel like their property rights are being violated. You know, the institution of the city of Fort Collins, Light and Power, is pouring salt on the wounds of the Farver family, who've already lost one of their two sons to radio frequency, to microwave radiation. Now, whether you believe that or not is beside the point. The Farvers, based on a lot of good peer-reviewed science, believe that. And they are going through hell because you guys came a couple weeks ago with police officers. I mean, why do you need police officers if this is a popular project supported by the community? Are they going to arrest someone if they don't allow it on?
We had customers who made threats of violence, and because of that, we had to protect the people.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it a threat of violence to put something that may cause cancer on someone's house?
We had people who threatened our utility
Right.
people,
He's
who
very-
threatened me
Mm-hmm.
He's very
with
aware.
violence.
He's very
and we
aware.
had the police just to make sure that it was safe.
He's
for
very
everybody.
aware, and by the way, you did not tell my husband he was being recorded either. So, by the way,
So we're all violating each other's privacy.
we're all violating, and you called my husband at work and harassed my husband at work, and I'm putting that on record right now.
I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I have a
Why,
record of it.
why would you call my husband at work? My husband does not know you.
I did not harass your husband.
Why did you call my husband at work? Just curious. Why would you call my husband at work? He doesn't know you.
I don't know that conversation's addressing the concern you have here.
Yeah,
Your
it
concern
very
is
much
about-
is a very much of a concern to me.
If
And
you-
he's very
if
aware
you-
of everything.
If you have a concern with harassment, then please pursue it as
Mhm.
you have the right to do.
You guys need to respect people's property. You guys need to respect people's opinion. This is not acceptable.
We do.
And we're going to publicize this nationwide, the Farver case. It's going to be open to scrutiny from all over the country. And, you know, it's just not right. It's not humane to do this to the Farvers in particular, but anyone in Fort Collins. People have a right to decide what goes on their homes. Would you agree with that?
I don't know that my agreement or disagreement is relevant to the conversation. You haven't been interested in my
And
opinion.
I also have neighbors that I've talked to recently. They said they opted out and they didn't have a meter, and I said, yes, you do have a meter.
When you
Please
need-
have your meter,
yeah,
or your
have them
customers
call
or your
us.
neighbors call us.
Absolutely.
But why should they have to call you when they
Yeah.
signed opt-outs?
If they're,
If they, we don't.
if we don't have what they want, please have them call us.
Yeah.
What would be the problem with offering analog electromechanical meter? I mean, aside from the fact that it's not wise to blanket an entire city with a possible cancer-causing agent that many people react badly to, what would be the downside to offering people an analog when it's causing this much anguish?
The analog meter, we believe, is an obsolete technology.
Obsolete.
That's all.
Yeah.
Oh, it has moving parts. For years, historically, you may recall in the 80s, there were concerns about magnetic fields. The way the analog meter works is it's like a motor. It has a very strong magnetic field. The digital meter does not have that magnetic field. We believe there's not a safety issue. We believe that there's not a power quality problem. We believe it's a,
Have you done power quality measurements on the new
we believe
meters?
it's a quality device that has good reliability
Yeah.
for serving customers. I think, let me have you step back if you would, please. We're a department of the city. The reason we exist is to serve the community. That's it. We don't have a stockholder. We don't have shareholder value issues. We only exist to serve the community. So when we're trying to make decisions, how do we do A or B? The only reason to make a decision is to see how we can bring the highest value to the community. That's our goal.
So even PG&E in California, who is an investor-owned utility, and their sole motive is to make a profit, they offer an analog meter to their customers, and many other, including municipal and rural cooperatives, offer this option. So why not Fort Collins?
We believe it's the best value we can bring to our community.
Even if
That's why.
there's a ton of people who think that this is not, you know, a good idea, they don't want it on their homes, you think it's okay to just force what you think is a good idea onto people's private property?
We try to do the best we can.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your time.